Good morning. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Well, welcome to our first crochet along. You won't see me on camera. You will see my hands and you will see the project. I'm trying to do this like everybody else who do tutorials. Y'all know I don't like doing this, but here we go. We're gonna do this watermelon bag today, and then we're gonna do it in two parts. And then after this crochet along, we'll decide on a date to do our watermelon shawl. Okay, so let's get started, you guys. For this project, you are going to need you're going to need your cotton yarn. I have Loops and Threads, which was purchased at Michael's. You need a darker green. This color right here is called Pine, but any type of darker green yarn would do, like hunter green, a pine color, anything dark. Then you're going to need a lighter green, and this is for your base, the darker green. And then the lighter green, mine is Loops and Threads, and the color is it doesn't say. I know I'm missing it here. Oh, Olive Garden. That's the name of this color right here. And you're also going to need some yarn. I mean the yarn for your watermelon base, or your watermelon meat, as I call it, the inside of the watermelon. And you're going to need all cotton yarn. So we already discussed it. So we all decided on Caron all day cotton, and then any cotton yarn of choice for your greens. You're also going to need, we're going to work this in a size H hook. So wait, let me move this to the side. I'm using a Furls Odyssey, the old version that's discontinued, but that's what I had. So I'm using size H for the bag itself. And then when we do our border for the bag and straps, you need a size G hook. Okay, and that will be at the end. You will also need a darning needle. That is, if you weave in your ends. I don't. I usually crochet my ends in. So at the end, I will be doing the same. But for those of you who like to weave in your ends, you'll need a darning needle. You will also need a stitch marker. I like to use a stitch marker just to mark every 10 rows. And then that lets me know how much further I have to go, and it lets me know how far I've come along. And then I can count my rows by tens. So I would suggest you do the same with the stitch marker. And you will also need beads, black beads for your watermelon seeds. Black beads for your watermelon seeds. I'll spare y'all the song, okay? All right, so let's remove everything with the exception of our size. Let me make sure I have the H here and not the G. Wait, they're so doggone close in size. Okay, here's the H. Dang, they almost look alike. Okay, that's the H. Alrighty, just drop the yarn, y'all. Okay, we're gonna get started. Oops, I forgot one thing. I forgot two things. You're also gonna need white. And I'm using DIY Glow for my watermelon bag for the white. So you'll start off, our base is going to be the darker green. Then we'll do a few rows of the lighter green. And then we'll do 5 rows of the white. I'm using DIY Glow so that the bag can glow in the dark when used. And the second thing that I forgot, counter. You don't really need a counter. In fact, since I'm counting by tens, I really don't need a counter, but I'll use the counter so that I can count the rows up to the number 10. But you don't need that, but I just thought that if you have one, it might come in handy for you. Okay, let's get started. Now, as you all already know, I told y'all that I had already filmed this video and I messed it up so bad. So I ended up frogging the bag and I'm starting over. So everything is in a ball here. So on today's video, we are actually going to make the base of the bag. So we will finish off the dark green, we'll finish off the light green, and we will finish off the white. And then once we finish that, we will stop the video and then we will continue on with part 2 on tomorrow. Or possibly today. I might upload everything at once. Okay, so this bag, we're getting ready to get started. I'm not one for slip knots. I like to make just your traditional, just get the hook on there, okay? But if you like to make a magic circle or slip knot, this is how you do it. You wrap it around your finger, like that. I just stick it into the hole and I pull it through, and there you have your slip knot. But I don't really like slip knots, so, well, you know what? I'm gonna leave this slip knot since I've made it. Okay, I need to get this. It seems like I'm not in focus here. Hold on. Let me pull this back and then I'll pull the camera up a little bit because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And let me cover up. I know y'all don't want to look at my tatas through the whole video. Okay, I'm a mess. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start the bag with a chain of 4. So let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to connect our little circle like this. And then we're going to put 12 half double crochets into your ring. And we are making what I call the butthole. Okay, so here we go. 1, and if you have a tail like I do, you crochet that in and then snip the end of it. And I hope that you can see me doing this. 2, 3, and if the hole begins to fill up quick, you just stretch and slide, okay? 4, and I'm going slow. 5, 6, 7. Ooh, it's getting tight here. 8, and I gotta squeeze 4 more in this. 9. Ooh, 1 more slide. Got 3 more to go. It's gonna be tight, y'all. But 10, 11, and 12. I'll snip off that end later. Okay, and let me bring my scissors up here, and my counter, and my stitch marker. Why did I put everything back? And what did I do with my scissors? Hold on, y'all. Just a second, y'all. I'm making all this noise and still, this darning needle is getting on my nerves. Hold on, y'all. I keep knocking it over. Okay. Let me move this. What did I do with the scissors? Hold on. Let me pause. Okay, I found the scissors. They were buried in my lap, okay? They finally fell, and that's how I found them. Okay, we have made our 12, and we're not going to connect this in the traditional way. Let me snip this end off. There we go. We're not gonna connect. When I make my circles, I do it differently. And this is a technique that I learned off YouTube years ago, probably about 10 or 11 years ago when YouTube first came out. And I like this technique because it gives you the perfect circle, or it gives you the perfect ring, or whatever you want to call it, for the base of your bag. And so that's the technique that we will be using today. And as you can see, what does it look like? A butthole. So now we're going to build upon the butthole. So it'll no longer be a butthole. It's just going to be the base of the bag. Okay, so this very first stitch here where you would normally connect, I want you to do 2 half double crochets. And with this, as we do our increases, we are going to just be going around and around, so we don't have to take the time to join and chain and all that stuff. We're just going around and around. That's why the stitch marker is so important. And so we can actually place that stitch marker now so that we will know where the row begins. So there we go. We got the stitch marker in right there. Okay. Now in the next single crochet, in the next half double crochet, you're going to do 2 more half double crochets. Actually, all the way around, you're going to do 2 half double crochets. And one thing I forgot to mention, when I'm doing this bag, I go in between the stitches. Let me show you. I don't go at the top. I go in between. Let's see. You put it right in between the stitches, not over the top. And the reason is that I like for the bag to be strong. And although you will still have a nice drape and everything with the bag, but it'll be a lot stronger. So make your 2 half double crochets in each stitch all the way around in between the stitches. And I'll meet you at the beginning. Okay, we are now back at the beginning, right there at the stitch marker. And as you can see, we've done our increase of 2 double crochets in each 2 half double crochets in each half double crochet stitch in between. Remember, you're going in between the stitches. Now this is where my technique differs from others. Instead of normally, for those of you who have made circles before, like for hats and different things, anything that has to be crocheted in the round, usually that first row you will do 2 double crochets in each one, and then the next row you'll do 1 double crochet in one, 2 in the next, and then the third row you would normally do 1 half double crochet in 2, and then 2 in the next, so on and so forth. But what I do is, after I do the first row of increases, then we crochet around and we only do 1 half double crochet in between each stitch. So we had 24 stitches for that second row, 24 half double crochet stitches for that second row. So for this row 3 right here, we're just doing 1 half double crochet in between each stitch. What that does is it keeps your circle flat. It might curl a little bit, but it won't curl as much as it would if you were doing it the other way, and it won't ruffle up either, because sometimes when it ruffles up, it takes a long time once you're through with your increases to get it to lay flat, and then you're always stretching it and trying to lay it flat on your own. This way, we're avoiding all that. We don't even have to worry about that happening. Like I said, it may curl just a little bit, or it may even ruffle a little bit, but not much. Not to the point to where you're going to have to stretch it out. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, we have made it to the end of row 3, and we're getting ready to go to row 4. Now, Row 3 is an odd number. Row 4 is an even number. Remember, each even number will be an increase row. Every odd number row will just be a single half double crochet row. Okay, so now we're going to increase. So in the last increase, we did 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So this time we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the first stitch of the row. Then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. We're increasing. 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And remember, we're going in between the stitches, not at the top. Then we'll do 1 half double crochet. 2 half double crochet. 1 half double crochet. And I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, we have made it to the end of the row. Now let's take a moment to look at our base. See how flat the circle is, and see how it's just perfectly round. Although if we were doing it the other way, the other method, it probably would not be perfectly round, and it would definitely not be flat. It would have begun to ruffle by now. It will begin to curl, those types of things. Eventually it would straighten out, but we're avoiding that. So it's going to save time, and I think it looks better. And like I said, we're going in between the stitches. It feels stiff, it feels tight. The butthole looks like a butthole, but as you can see, it's just about closed. And but believe me, trust the process. The bag will drape. As it gets bigger, the stitches will begin to feel a little bit looser, but they'll be stronger. And the bag, as it gets bigger and bigger and begins to turn into the bag, it will drape. So you'll like it for sure. Okay, we're going on to row 5, which is an odd row. And I'm just using the clicker to show you that we're on row 5 coming up. Okay, so because it's an odd number row, we're just going to do a half double crochet in each stitch around. Do that, and I will meet you at the beginning of the row. Okay, we are back at the beginning of the row, so we will be starting row 6. Now this is an even row, and because it's an even row, this is a row where we will do an increase. And look at how nice our circle is, or how nice our base is. I'm just calling it a base. Okay, so as you know, we're going to do 2 double crochet in the first, not 2, I keep saying double, but 2, we're going to do 2 half double crochet in the first stitch. Then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then we will do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to do 2 half double crochet, or just 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So go around the bag, 2 half double crochet in the next, a half double crochet in the following 2, so on and so forth until you get back to the stitch marker. Meet you on the other side. Okay, wait a minute, it's getting harder to even show the thing because it's getting so much bigger. Okay, and we've only done 2 increases. Alrighty, we're going on to row 7, which is an odd row, so you know what to do there. Just put 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and I will meet you back when we get to the stitch marker. Okay, we have made it back around. So we are going to row, and I have it laying flat on the on my little walker seat here so that you can at least see how big that the base is beginning to get. Okay, we are moving on to row 8. This is an even row, so you know what that means. It's an increase row. So we're going to do we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, and then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. After that, then we will increase another 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then we'll do a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches after that. So I'll demonstrate it one time. I'm quite sure I don't need to, but I will. So in the first one, we're going to do 2 half double crochets, and then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And remember, we're going in between. Don't forget. Okay, and then we'll do another 2 half double crochets, and then a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And I will meet you back at the beginning of our row at the stitch marker. Alrighty, we are back. We've made it to the end. Okay, now we're going onto row 9, and we're going to be going into every single half double crochet with just 1 half double crochet. And we're nearing the end of this part of this. And also the next row, which will be row 10, we will be moving our stitch marker up because we will be at the 10th row. Because remember, we're going to be counting our rows by 10. So do the half double crochet in each stitch around and meet me back at the stitch marker so that we can move it up. Okay, we have made it to the end of row 9. So now we're going into row 10. And after we do our first, row 10. So let's do our first 2 half double crochets in that first stitch, and then let's do a half double crochet in the next, is it 3 or 4? Let's see, let me make sure here. Okay, do a half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's pause, and then let's move that stitch marker up because we are on row 10, and we're going to move it into the first 2 half double crochets. Just stick it there because you know that's where the row begins. Actually, put it in that first half double crochet in the first half double crochet, in the first 2 half double crochet stitches. Just stick the stitch marker into that first half double crochet, and you'll know that's where your row begins. And that just makes it easier. Number one, you know that you have 10 rows. This is the 10th row where the stitch marker is, so you know that. And then, and it will come in handy later as we're working the bag, because with you counting by 10s, you know exactly how many rows you have and everything. As the bag begins to grow, it just makes it a lot simpler. And as you can see, our bases remained flat. If we were doing this the traditional way, it would be ruffled by now, and it would just be real ruffled, and you would have to go around and around and around once you're done with your increases to get it to straighten out, which it would eventually do. But this way is already straight, so you see how your bag is forming already. And then once we finish with our increases, which will be very, very soon, I promise you, Once we finish with our increases, we're just going to be going around and around and around for the remainder of the bag, and it's just going to remain straight for you. And you will see it take shape, and you don't have to wait for ruffles and all that stuff. Okay, so meet me at the end of this row, and we will do our final double crochet in just each stitch around. After this, row 11 will be our final double crocheting in each stitch around. And then we only have 3 more increases to go after that, and then it's on to the fun part. Changing colors and working the bag. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, we have made it back to the stitch marker. So now we are going to do our final row. Click, row 11, oops, click, row 11. We are going to do our final row of 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. So let's do that and meet me back at the stitch marker, and I will show you what to do next. It gets easier from here, believe me. The worst part is just about over. Shall return. Okay, we are back, and we are going to row 12. Okay, now not only are we going to row 12, we are also going to row 13 and row 14. You're going to complete the last 3 rows of our increases, and then we will be done with that. Thank goodness. And then it is smooth sailing from here. So what I want you to do for rows 12, 13, and 14, I want you to increase. So in the first stitch, increase 2 half double crochets in between, and then you're gonna half double crochet into the next 5 stitches for row 12, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to do 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. For row 13, you're going to do 2 half double crochets, and then you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. And then for row 14, you're going to do your first stitch, 2 half double crochets, and then you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 7 stitches before you half double crochet 2 in the same stitch again. Once you reach row 15, stop at the stitch marker and meet me there. And then we're going to change colors, and then we're just going to be going around and around from there. And the bag will get bigger and bigger because of all the increases. And then once it gets to our desired size, then we will do our decrease. Okay, I shall return at row 15. Woo, Lord, that was long and rough, wasn't it? Okay, we finally got done here. So what I want you to do right now is, let me explain something. We did our last increase like right about here, right before we got to the stitch marker. So there was like 4 stitches left over, or 3 stitches actually, left over before you get to the stitch marker. End it right there. As soon as you see that stitch marker, just end it right there. I know you probably noticed that and probably got confused and said, oh no. No, you didn't do anything wrong. That's just the way it works up. So do those last 3 stitches up to the stitch marker and then stop it right there. So what you need to do, once you get to that last stitch, you've probably done it, but just go back, take that stitch down, go back in and do a half double crochet, but stop there because we're getting ready to change colors. So once you do that, you have 3 loops on your hook because you've only started the half double crochet. And then you're going to cut your yarn, and switch colors. You're going to the light green now. And the hardest part is over, you guys, because we are now going into the phase of the colors. So what I want you to do, we're just going round and round. We're going to attach our next color. What you do is you take the next color and then you finish off that half double crochet with it. Okay, I just did it. And then I like to tie knots. I don't like to just crochet it in. I like to tie a tight knot so that I know it's never going to come loose at any given time during the life of the bag. Okay, so I've just made a tight knot there. And so now that we've changed colors, what I want you to do is 2 rows of the light green and then 3 rows of the white. And that's going to take us up to row 20, and then we'll move that stitch marker up again, and then we're going into autopilot, you guys. So meet me back at the beginning of the stitch marker. You're going to do 2 rows of this light green, and then you're going to do 3 rows of the white. See you there. See you at the beginning. All right, you guys, we made it. We made it. We are actually getting ready to come up on the end of part 1 of the crochet along. Now it gets fun. Okay, we are done with our base. We are totally complete with the base. So now comes the fun part. And we're going to do, I'm looking at the size of the base. This is as wide as I want the bottom, and it's just going to get bigger, although it's beginning to, you'll notice that it's beginning to curl. But we're going to pull it in a little bit, just a little bit. We're not going to decrease that much, but we need to do at least 1 row of decreases, and they'll be spaced apart. And it's just going to give us, it's going to finish off that curl, and it's also going to level off the size of the bag, which is still going to be a nice size, but I don't want it to get too big. So therefore, we're going to do this 1 row of decreases, which is what I always do when I make my bags. Because otherwise, this will get bigger and bigger. It'll curl, but it'll be just bigger. And it'll turn into a laundry bag. We're not trying to make a laundry bag. But we are trying to make a nice, it's going to be a nice catch-all bag, a nice beach bag, a nice, whatever you want to use it for type bag. A market bag, whatever your heart desire is. Okay, let's cut this. And let's do our 1 row of decrease. And then we will end part 1 after I give you instructions on what to do next. Because when we come back, the bag will be finished just about. What I'm going to do is let you know how many rows to go around with the watermelon color of the Caron All Day Cotton yarn. And then once you get to that row, we're going to come back, the ending row, because it's going to be quite a few. And then we will do our colors. We'll do our white again, our light green again, and our dark green again, and then we're going to do the straps. So the second part of the crochet along will be the straps. I mean, not the straps. It'll be the dark green. I mean the white, because we're going backwards. We're going to start with the white, then we'll do the light green, and then we'll do a couple of rows of the dark green, and then we will do our straps. And I need to show you how to do that. And when we do the straps, it will be a true crochet along, because I will be right with you every step of the way of the straps, because it's the way that I do them. And I want to show you exactly how I do my straps. And so, and it doesn't take too long doing them because, you know, they're narrow, more narrow. It'll probably take 15 minutes for each strap. So the video will be about 30 minutes, just like this one. Okay, but I need to show you how to do the decrease. So for the half double crochet decrease, we're going to decrease in this first stitch here. And what you do is you wrap your yarn around, stick it in, pull it through like this, and you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to wrap it again and stick it into the next half double crochet and pull up a loop. Now you have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap it around again, and then you're going to pull it through all 5. That's your half double crochet decrease. Okay, I'm going to show you that again. But what you're going to do is you're going to crochet 10 half double crochets, and on the 11th we're going to do another decrease. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to do another half double crochet decrease. You're going to wrap it around. I'm going to show you one more time in case you don't know. Stick it in, the half double crochet in between, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap it again, stick it into the next half double crochet in between, pull up a loop, and now you have 5 loops on your hook. Wrap it one last time and pull through all 5. That's your next decrease. Now, before we go any further, we are on row 20. That means the stitch marker comes up because we've done 10 more rows. So we'll just stick the stitch marker right there. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time, and then I'm going to send you on your own again. Okay? We're going to crochet, we're going to half double crochet into the next 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time, I'm going to show you one more time, just in case. Wrap it around, stick it into the half double crochet, pull through 1. 3 loops on your hook. Wrap it around, stick it into the next half double crochet, pull through 1. You have 5 loops on your hook. Wrap it around, pull through all 5. So now what I want you to do is work your way all the way around to the stitch marker, and those are your decreases. And then after that, you are going to crochet 21 more rows using the Caron All Day Cotton watermelon color. So you're going to have a total of 22 rows using this color. And so once you've gotten your 22 rows, the bag is basically complete. We'll finish it off with our rind, which will be the white, the light green, and then the dark green. And what we're going to do is 2 rows of each. So we'll do 2 rows. No, I'm sorry. We're going to actually do 4 rows of the white because we need to get up to 50 rows. Once we do 22 rows here, we're going to have 42 rows, but we're going to do 8 more rows. So we're going to do 4 rows of the white. Then we're going to do 2 rows of the light green And then we're going to do 2 rows of the dark green, which will bring you to 50, to row 50. Once we're at row 50, then the bag is complete. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to finish off the bag. Remember, 22 rows of the watermelon color, and then you're going to do 4 rows of the white, 2 rows of the light green, and then 2 rows of the dark green. And then at that point, the bag will be complete. And when we return in the next video, we will start on the straps. Okay? So I will see you in the next video. In fact, let me come on camera real quick to say goodbye. And then we can look at the bag. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Oops. I forgot. I've had the glasses on the whole time. Don't want y'all to see that. And yes, I'm in my PJs. I'm looking crazy. Uh-oh. Why is this camera not staying still? Let me lift it up for one. Ugh. It's supposed to... Oh, there we go. Wait, nope, that's not it. Okay. I don't know what's happening with this swivel, and it's tighten up. I don't know what the deal is. Okay. Whew. It's still not. It wants it. Okay. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry it's crooked, y'all, but if I put it straight, it's gonna tip back over. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, you guys. So this will complete part 1 of the crochet along of the watermelon bag. And y'all, it's 3 in the morning, so I'm getting ready to hit the sack. I started this at 12 o'clock midnight. So I've been 3 hours working on this bag. So, and you too, I'm assuming. So this is how it looks thus far. I think it's going to be absolutely stunning when we're done. Okay, so once again, uh-oh, let me clip. I have a little end here that needs to come off. Once again, 22 rows of the watermelon color of the Caron All Day Cotton. After you finish your decrease round, you're going to do 21. You're just going to go around 21 times, and it's going to be shorter because of the decreases, so it's not going to take you as long to get around. And then after you finish your 22nd row of the watermelon color, then you're going to do 4 rows of the white, 2 rows of the light green, and then 2 rows of the dark green. Okay, you guys, this ends the video. May God bless you all, and I look forward to hearing about your bag, because I can't see it unless we can figure out a way to post pictures. Maybe we'll have to start a Facebook group or something so we can post a picture of our bags. But anyway, I will see you in the next one. I will be completing the tutorial. Probably not tomorrow. I'm going to take a day to rest. I'll probably complete it on either Thursday or Friday. But I will be on with a video tomorrow because I have something to show y'all. Haha. Okay, so I will talk to you later. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye. And happy birthday to me. Future Q here. Bye-bye.